have cute little hair wisps floating around.
I know, where's our makeup team?
Yeah, look at you, you're all grungy. You could have like this shadow starting here.
Jeez.
Yeah. We have white all over our faces. We're at the beach.
Yeah, this one's totally off the cuff, and we don't even know what we're going to talk about yet, except that we know we wanted to kind of just share where we are with the 100% project and how things are going in Hawaii.
Yeah. You know, moving, no matter what, even if you're all organized, still takes a lot of energy. One thing I noticed is just to make a space or find a space takes a lot of life energy, just to be able to have food, to have drink. You know, if you have work that's plugged in, to have electricity or a way to get connected to the internet and other things, all of that, or even just to have a refrigerator.
Like both spaces that we went into here, we had to do that from scratch, basically.
Yeah.
So 1 month we just spent getting ourselves up to the point where we could, you know, have some food storage and this and that, and then doing that all over again. That took a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And so realizing that took a oomph out of us.
It does make me realize how privileged the majority of us are in the world that have access to things like the internet and safe running water. And I mean, even though the spaces that we're living in are maybe what you would call primitive, they are nothing compared to what a number of human beings on the planet have to live in every day, where you don't know if you're going to get water and if it's going to be safe, or just so many. So it does give me gratitude, because sometimes I can be like, oh, I want to have just a normal house with a kitchen. I'm doing this project about food. Why can't I have just like a kitchen? But then I realize how lucky I am, and of course everything on top of that, a healthy family and time together.
Yeah, we rent an apartment in the United States or Europe or something, and it's going to have, in most cases, a refrigerator and stove and everything. And we are privileged, not just, you know, we're feeling ourselves privileged coming into those things and not having that. But boy, in general, it's just, we get so used to this privilege, I think, and we can forget that, you know, even the lowest income of us are living pretty well compared to a lot of people in other places.
Sorry, I keep looking at the ocean. The water's all sparkling on it right now.
Yeah, we'll have to turn it out and show you.
And I'm watching the girls swim just to keep an eye on them, not trying to be distracted from all of you, because it's been a long time since I've really been able to sit down and talk, and I miss that.
We realized that the other day. Yeah. Like, you haven't been in videos.
I know,
for quite a while.
There's been a lot going on, and I have to say that part of it is perspective, because we've been here for a little over 2 months now, and I've spent a lot of my time kind of focused on what I don't have. You know, don't have electricity, don't have running water, have to deal with slugs all the time, etc.
That carry rat lungworm, like the super serious disease.
Yeah, I thought leaving Lyme disease behind would be like so awesome, and I can totally deal with there being some slugs and I have to wash my food. But it's kind of intense, and where we are in particular, there's slugs all over, and they like crawl on our sink, which is outside. And anyway,
dishes, and we should do a rat lungworm. Isn't that just the name of that, rat lungworm? We should do a rat lungworm video to tell people about it and what it's like living with it.
So back to my point.
Yeah.
My point is, and we'll try not to ramble on forever and ever and ever here, because I know time is precious. And maybe you'll get something valuable out of this. But I realized the other day that I've been spending a lot of my time thinking, do I want to be here? Am I enjoying this? Because I don't have this and I don't have that. And this is something that, you know, like I have to go through this procedure every single day in order just to, you know, make ends meet, etc. And I thought, well, that isn't really the right way to go about life. I thought, I need to like get back into this gratitude practice and look at what I do have, and be grateful for the things that I do have. And so that's what led me to start thinking about perspective and about just how much any of us have. And that's the thing, is we can spend time in the box of what we think our life should look like. Like, okay, this should be the picture, and that should be what my life is. And meanwhile, life is like all messy and everything. And you're like trying to get messy life to conform to this beautiful organized picture, and it doesn't. And I thought for myself, I need to stop trying to make the should be, and I just need to be. I need to say, what is it that I do have? And that helped me a lot to look at, gosh, instead of trying to get my space all perfect, how about I just spend time at the beach with my kids? Because we might just be here for a year, and then wouldn't I be sad if I get back to the mainland and I think, oh, all the times they wanted to go swimming or explore what this plant is or check out all the things they want to learn, and I'm all busy going, no, life should look like this. So, there's that. And I'd be curious to hear from all of you if you've experienced that before, what your life should look like, and how much stress, does that cause you stress to think this is what it should be? And then what happens if you were to stop right now and look at what you have and say, here's what is, and like stop fighting what is and embracing it and looking at the treasures and the gemstones in that. Sorry, I've been babbling on that.
No, that's awesome. Because, I was looking out at the ocean and thinking, we were talking about privilege. Oh my gosh, we're on the beach in Hawaii. And that sounds like,
paradise.
There's, you see homeless like on the beach in Hawaii a lot. And so there's...
And actually sometimes it's not, they're homeless, but like these people are working 2 jobs.
Because it's so expensive.
So
here, right?
It's not just they don't have a home, they're working super hard, and yet they still cannot. And that isn't to say they're not trying hard enough, because that's a whole other thing. Is you can drive down one road and see these beautiful $1 million homes, turn the corner and there's these people and
picking through the trash to try to find.
That isn't necessarily their fault. Sometimes I think, oh well, come on, just go get a job, and I hear they're working 2 jobs, and it's like it is expensive.
So there it is for me. You have, I have this image in my head, beach in Hawaii, paradise. But you come to Hawaii, to paradise, and you find out there's just as many things wrong here as there are any place else in the world.
Paradise is really a state of mind, actually. You can find paradise anywhere, even in Wisconsin with Lyme disease and snow. And there's stuff that people don't tell you about here, because you start to live here and you get used to it. But if you're scared of ants, do not come to Hawaii. And that's not because there's fire ants here, which there are fire ants here. It's because ants are everywhere. They're just everywhere. I mean, if you leave something out on the counter too long, if you're scared of, I wonder what that is. Maybe there's a ship over there.
Tsunami alert. Run!
Right. There's a volcano, there's tsunamis. I mean, right. But we've talked about that in one of our podcasts about where is there ever a safe, secure place? And there really isn't. You just have to develop that within you and be able to be flexible. I mean, that's what we talk about in survival situations. It's your mind that's the most important tool. Anyway, ants are everywhere, and if you're scared of lizards, there's these really cute geckos. They really are super cute. The girls love them. But if you happen to be scared of lizards, they don't hurt you.
Rats all over the islands.
There's rats here too. I mean, like every place has its thing. So, when you talk about paradise, it's like you have to develop that perspective, those glasses that see the things that are beautiful, because there are beautiful things all around.
Which we will show you the ocean. It is beautiful.
It's really pretty today.
There's the 100% project. We've been feeling like pressure, I think. A sense of pressure, because we made a commitment to all of you.
Yeah.
And to do this. But it's proving difficult. Well,
go ahead.
Okay. It's proving difficult logistically.
Yeah, it's not in the way that we thought it might be. For example, there's fruit everywhere. There's lots of things that you can essentially forage, but because people are packed kind of like sardines, there's lots of do not trespass, and it's kapu, it's taboo to step on this land, and it's disrespectful. And so you can watch this beautiful ulu breadfruit tree with so much fruit, and it's falling, and there it is in 3 feet from you, but there's this fence that says you can't have it, and you just watch it. No one's collecting it. Guava, everything just falling, and no one sharing it.
The pig hunting, it feels like people have their territories, and you know, it's hard to know. Like,
I am trying to find local eggs. I mean, guys, I've been on this quest since we got here to get some local eggs. You'd think it would be easy, but it's not that way. Everyone I talk to that I see like has a roadside stand or something, it isn't just like, hey, come and get some eggs. It's like you sign up on a list and then you wait until everybody before you has gotten their eggs, and then it's your turn. And so, you know, we've been talking about should we have chickens, but we've been feeling pressure because we're coming up on 30% this next month. And while that isn't a huge number, and we've been eating a lot of foraged foods, when we originally set out to do this project, it was very different. We were meant to be in a place that had a working kitchen, that had internet access, that had all of its parts together. We weren't meant to go and like necessarily create that from the ground up for ourselves. We were meant to go with another family who had knowledge about growing, permaculture, agroforestry, and really, I believe, my personal philosophy is that humans aren't meant to do it alone. You know, there's all these survival channels, Alone and Naked and Afraid and all that. Cool. But in a real life situation, like long-term living, we need each other. And so for our one family to come and try to do this, I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, are we going to be able to do this? And what do we do? And
yeah, there's, in addition to that, the bed and breakfast, the place we're staying, the woman that is the host family, it's a couple, a man and a woman, and she got pretty darn sick. And so, because Rebecca and I have a background in various hospitality stuff, we've catered before,
I know we don't look like it right now,
cleaning, blah 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 blah. So we've stepped up to help while she's ill, and then we're basically, you know,
we're not running the bed and breakfast, but we're really filling in. You know, we're doing breakfasts, we're helping clean, we're doing rooms, and that actually gives us joy. I mean,
to be of service,
yeah,
is awesome.
we really love that. I mean, that's one of the things we love about having this channel with all of you, is just sharing and knowing that what we do and what we share gets you guys thinking, and then what you share back to us really fills us up.
Yeah, that's our big joy in life, I think, is being of service. And yet now we're balancing being in this position where we want to be helping these people that have been so gracious to us, and trying to keep up with our project and have some energy, you know, some energy for this, for being together as a family. This is feeling like it's becoming more and more rare, and that's our foundation a lot, is our family and our connectedness, and making sure that we have adventures, and that's what inspires us to go out and, you know, live an adventurous life and then be able to share it with you. So
I bet that there are a number of you out there who know what we're talking about when we say that life seems to be a balancing act. And I have this feeling that a lot of you out there are similar to us in that you don't necessarily know how to keep things balanced, because you want to give so much, because you love so much, and that fills you up. And I feel like we're doing the right thing by helping out. I couldn't do it any other way. Yet at the same time, that starts to add things up or spread things out. And so that would be another place I'd love to hear from all of you. What do you do to keep your life balanced?
I should explain that this family that owns the bed and breakfast, they just welcomed us in and said, we just want to bless you and your project and what you're doing and your family. They didn't require any work out of us at all, and said,
yeah, there was no arrangement,
like 15 hours of work or whatever.
It's just like, come here, we are already blessed by you being here, and you know, if you want to do things that fill you up, then do them, but that isn't a requirement. And so that's of course where we felt, I mean,
we naturally want to help people out. Yeah, and so it's neat to see that in them not requiring something of us, we've been working to help them much more than a lot of these other arrangements you see on the island, where people are really rigidly kind of defining what people do. And well, that's another subject, I guess, like believing in people. And
that's the thing. I'm learning about from the 100% project, and as you said, we could do a different video. But what I'm finding is it isn't about how much you know about plants, or what kind of a forager you are, or how good of a hunter or a fisher you are. In the end, it comes down to your connection with people, because a lot of the food that we're foraging is given to us access by the neighbors or by someone that we meet who says, oh, come anytime and take the avocados that fall from my tree. Or, you know, walk up this road, I own the land on this half, you guys can have any of the fruit that's there. And over and over and over again, that's what it is people.
That's, I think, the key to how we're circumventing all those boundaries that we experience is connection with people.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to make connections with people that need some pig hunting right now. And I met somebody today who's a spear fisherman, and you know, boy, it's been tougher than we thought.
A lot harder
to meet the right people. Because I think because maybe of the expense, a lot of people are working really hard here and don't have a lot of free time to enjoy paradise.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Another thing we could do. How hard we work and how little we seem to stop and just be. Really super important. But talking about connecting with people, we have so much gratitude for all of you out there in all the ways that you support us. I don't know if you guys know. I mean, I like almost cry. I'm gonna get all teary here. Just because you guys are so sweet. And we hear from some of you about just like it's not even big things, it's just the little things that you do. Like it might be a way that you decide to interact with your grandchildren differently, or something that you notice where, hey, I always, you know, go to work in the morning and I never stop and look at the sunrise, and this morning I stopped and looked at it, and you guys share that with us, and it just like inspires me to keep going too. It's like this wonderful feedback loop. And I mean, and of course you guys are sponsoring us, you know, people send us checks in the mail, and they send things to the girls, people send us cards and letters, and I better not cry anymore. My mascara will run.
We've been feeling it lately.
But
yeah,
it's amazing. It truly is. And I think the biggest thing I want that you to know is that you are that for other people. You, not just us. I mean, we're awesome people, and we have this weird life that allows us to have these adventures and explore these different things that we share with you, but you are also really valuable and really precious, and you also make a huge difference, not just in our lives but in other people's lives. So you don't have to be on video, you don't have to get up in front of people. Just by being who you are and feeling like your love and letting it out and sharing, I mean, you're making a difference.
So thank you in the way that you've been leaving comments, writing us letters, reaching out to us, the support we've been getting. Thank you.
And just keep on doing it, not just for us, but for everyone.
Spread it to the world.
Yeah.
Spread your love.
We should probably show them the ocean.
Okay.
Yeah, because somebody might not have all day to sit here and listen to us talking.
All right.
Okay, aloha.
Here's the ocean. Love you guys. There's Liliana. And there's Mirabelle. Talk with you soon.